What is the situation in Peel and particularly Brampton?
Oh, I do have some updates for you, Rajinder. So Toronto and Peel are in the same situation. We're just waiting for more supply. Toronto and Peel receive the same amount of vaccines per capita. It's identical. In Brampton, we have the vaccination center at 10 Peel Center Drive open. We've got the Save Max one open.
It's not a centralized system Ontario is adopting now?
No, it's not a centralized system, but it's up to each health unit in terms of when they want to open it up. In York region, they have not finished the 80-year-olds.
What are you listening from the government of Ontario, from the Premier's office?
Yeah, so the argument that I've been making, and so has John Tory and Bonnie Crombie, is that they need to give priority to Toronto and Peel region, and this is what the doctors have said too. People are flocking to the open areas, and so it doesn't work. The GTA is too interconnected for us to divide it with policies on openings and closings.
ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਪੈਟਰਿਕ ਬਰਾਊਨ ਜੁੜ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਪੀਲ ਰੀਜਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਔਰ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਕੀ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਮੇਅਰ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਸੀ ਟੀਵੀ
Always a pleasure to be on Parvasi TV.
Thank you so much. And at this time when Toronto has three vaccination centers up and running, Scarborough Town Centre, Metro Toronto Convention Centre, Toronto Congress Centre. It's really unfortunate the state of affairs in Brampton and Mississauga. On the other side, if we see York region has said that they have already started booking appointments of people above 75 now. Halton region is also following them. But what is the situation in Peel and particularly Brampton?
Oh, I do have some updates for you, Rajinder. So Toronto and Peel are in the same situation. We're just waiting for more supply. Toronto and Peel receive the same amount of vaccines per capita. It's identical. But one of our frustrations is the vaccines that are coming in, the supply is so small. So let me give you an example. Mississauga and Brampton are each doing around 1,250 a day, and we could be doing 70,000 a day. And so we've got the vaccination centers open. In Brampton, we have the vaccination center at 10 Peel Center Drive open. We've got the Save Max one open. We've got the Shinkuzi Wellness one open. But the challenge is there's just not enough vaccines. And so Canada has done such a poor job on procurement that it's frustrating. To do 1,000 in a day when we could be doing 70,000, we've got the staff, we got the building set up, we just need the vaccines. And in terms of York region doing 75-year-olds, they've made the decision to do 75-year-olds and 80-year-olds at the same time, where our top doctors said they felt it was appropriate to finish all the 80-year-olds before they go to the 75-year-olds because they feel the 80-year-olds are more vulnerable.
It's really confusing for us. Premier is saying that he has already 225,000 people waiting in line above 80 years. York and Halton has already started booking above 75. It's not a centralized system Ontario is adopting now?
No, it's not a centralized system, but it's up to each health unit in terms of when they want to open it up. In York region, they have not finished the 80-year-olds. There's still lots and lots of 80-year-olds who haven't got their vaccine. In York region, they want to do the 75-year-olds and 80-year-olds at the same time. In Peel region, Michelle Emmanuel from Trillium, Naveed Mohammed from Osler felt that it was important to vaccinate all the 80-year-olds first before they open it up to 75-year-olds because they feel an 80-year-old is more vulnerable than a 75-year-old.
Okay, I interviewed Andrea Harvitz yesterday. She was strongly supporting that yes, Brampton needs most of the vaccines in the beginning because of the frontline workers, warehouse workers. She said, I fully support the demand of Mayor of Brampton. I have spoken to Del Duca. Most of their candidates in the upcoming election, they have written a common letter, joint letter to the government of Ontario that yes, Brampton and Peel, they need a priority. What are you listening from the government of Ontario, from the Premier's office?
Yeah, so the argument that I've been making, and so has John Tory and Bonnie Crombie, is that they need to give priority to Toronto and Peel region. And this is what the doctors have said too. All the top doctors have said this. There is a fire in Toronto and Peel with the spread of the virus in the communities. So imagine it's a big fire. The vaccines are the fire extinguisher. And by putting the fire out in Toronto and Peel, you protect the rest of the province. The rest of the province isn't dealing with outbreaks. And so if you really want to be strategic, you really want to get this under control, focus on where we have outbreaks. Focus on where there's the fire. And that's why we've all been encouraging the province to focus on Toronto and Peel. Let's get the community spread under control. Let's get the outbreaks under control. Because if you look at how it spreads, it's spreading from the GTA out to other areas of the province. If you get it under control here, it protects the whole province.
Okay, last question. You were strongly advocating, demanding that Brampton should be put now under red zone. So was asking Bonnie Crombie. But today, just now, we have heard a news that Dr. David William, Chief Medical Officer of Ontario, is accepting, yes, we are already in third wave now. University of Waterloo, University of Gulf, they are saying that in coming days and particularly by the mid of April, we will be having more than 6,000 cases every day, and most of them from the GTA. So what do you think? What's going to happen now? I mean, all those businesses who were struggling and expecting, waiting that they will be put now in red zone, they will be allowed to do their business now in a better way. What's going to happen now?
So let me say two things here, Rajinder. First of all, you can't split up the GTA. It doesn't make sense. To have Vaughan open and Oakville open and Mississauga closed and Brampton closed and Markham open and Scarborough closed, people just go to the open areas. And we look at the cell phone data. The mayors have access to that data, and it shows people are flocking to the open areas. And so it doesn't work. The GTA is too interconnected for us to divide it with policies on openings and closings. And so I've argued for more consistency across the GTA. The second thing I would say is, be more surgical. Focus on where the outbreaks are happening. And if you look at where the outbreaks are happening, they're happening in the Amazons. They're happening in these large corporations. And so rather than closing a small barber or a small, clothing store that hasn't had an outbreak, we should focus on where the outbreaks are happening and be surgical. I was very pleased that Peel Public Health finally took action on Amazon last week and closed them down for 14 days because it was out of control. 600 plus cases. Focus on where the spread is. Focus on where the outbreaks are. That will help protect all of us.
Okay. We have just got another news that America has agreed to send us 1.5 million AstraZeneca vaccines soon. You expect some of them to Brampton?
Yes, I hope we're going to get a lot to Brampton. I understand Ontario is getting almost half of that, and so hopefully that means that that Brampton will be getting tens of thousands. But having said that, I think right now Canada is 62 on the list of countries getting vaccines. We have to do better. We have to do better. If I look at the vaccine rates in the UK or the America, it's embarrassing where Canada is right now. We need to get more vaccines. And I keep on hearing they're going to come soon. They're going to come soon. It's not good enough to be number 62. Canada is an incredible country. We're one of the most prosperous, successful, dynamic countries in the world. We've never settled to be number 62.
Okay, I think Canada must have learned a lesson. All those countries who are producing this vaccine in their own country, they're keeping for themselves first, then they're sharing with others. I think we are lagging way behind in that.
Way behind.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Bye-bye. ਇਹ ਸੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਮੇਅਰ ਪੈਟਰਿਕ ਬਰਾਊਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਗੁੱਸਾ ਜ਼ਾਹਿਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਫਰਸਟ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਜ਼ਾਹਿਰ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ 62ਵੇਂ ਨੰਬਰ 'ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ G7 ਦੀ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਹੋਣ ਦੇ ਬਾਵਜੂਦ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਵੈਕਸੀਨ ਲਈ ਤਰਸ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ 1.5 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਵੈਕਸੀਨ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਲਣ ਲੱਗਾ ਔਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੜੇ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ। ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ 2.2 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਰੋਜ਼ ਲਗਾਏ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ। तो मेयर का कहना है कि मैं उम्मीद करांगा कि कुछ वैक्सीन ये 1.5 मिलियन ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਤੋਂ ਆਉਣਗੇ ਉਹ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚੋਂ ਅੱਧੇ ਅੰਟਾਰੀਓ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣੇ ਹੈ। ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਪੁਰਜ਼ੋਰ ਇਹ ਡਿਮਾਂਡ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਵੈਕਸੀਨ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਜਾਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਆ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਟਰੱਕਿੰਗ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ, ਟਰਾਂਸਪੋਰਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਲੋਕ ਨੇ, ਵੇਅਰ ਹਾਊਸਾਂ 'ਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਲੋਕ ਨੇ, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਔਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬੇਸ਼ੱਕ ਸੈਂਟਰਲਾਈਜ਼ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਹੈ ਬੁਕਿੰਗ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਪਰ ਹਜੇ ਵੀ ਵੱਖੋ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਲਥ ਰੀਜਨਸ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਬੁਕਿੰਗ ਆਪ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਯਾਰਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁਣ 75 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਦੀ ਉਮਰ ਵਾਲੇ ਲੋਕ ਵੀ ਬੁਕਿੰਗ ਕਰਨਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਅੱਜ ਤੋਂ, ਤੇ ਕੱਲ ਤੋਂ ਹਾਲਟਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਬੁਕਿੰਗ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਉਮਰ 75 ਸਾਲ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ 1946 ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਏ ਸੀ। ਪਰ ਉਹ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਨੇ। ਮੇਅਰ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ 70,000 ਵੈਕਸੀਨ ਰੋਜ਼ ਲਗਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮਿਸਾਗਾ ਵੀ ਕਮ ਸੇ ਕਮ 70,000 ਵੈਕਸੀਨ ਰੋਜ਼ ਲਗਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਆ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ? 1250। ਸਟਾਫ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੈ, ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੈ, ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੈ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਵੈਕਸੀਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਨ। ਇਹ ਕਦੋਂ ਤੱਕ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਲਾਰੇ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ? ਇਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਬੜਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਸੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਟੌਪ 8 ਐਟ 8। ਹਰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਜੁੜਿਆ ਕਰੋ, ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਰੋ, ਦੂਸਰੇ ਦੋਸਤਾਂ ਮਿੱਤਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਦਿਨ ਭਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਟੌਪ 8 ਖਬਰਾਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ 8 ਤੋਂ 9 ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਗੁੱਡ ਨਾਈਟ।